Good evening and welcome to the Whiskey Lovers Society with me, Gert Retief. And tonight we are looking at Bains whiskey. Of course, it is from South Africa, so there is going to be a little bit of a bias that will show every now and again. I am proudly South African and I'm quite looking forward to nosing and tasting this one. And a little bit of a spoiler, I did spend some time with it over the last couple of days, did make some notes on it. I do want to give as much information on this whiskey as possible. Bottled at 43% ABV. It is chill filtered. Not 100% sure, but I think there is a little bit of a coloring added to it. They say for continuity, so all the bottles side by side, but they look the same. It is matured in first fill X bourbon cask, and then it is also matured again in a new fresh cask to give a little bit of extra flavors that come from that cask. So double maturation. It is distilled from 100% corn, and I'm looking forward to that little bit of that bourbon note that will come out in the end. Just a little bit of information on the distillery. This is the Bains Cape Mountain Whiskey, single grain, double matured from South Africa, and the Bains distillery is situated at the foot of the spectacular Bains Pass, and it's part of the James Sedgwick distillery. So situated just outside of Cape Town, 45-minute drive on the banks of the Bergrivier or Berg River, or a berg would be in South Africa, will be a mountain, so next to the mountain river. And of course, thanks to the master distiller Andy Watts, we have this fantastic whiskey that we can taste tonight. So onto the whiskey itself. Now I find it quite a budget whiskey, since we are a little bit on the recession whiskey series or budget whiskey series. Anything under €30 for me will be quite a budget whiskey. This one is really ticking the boxes with regards to the budget whiskies. And of course we are looking and paying €18 for the bottle. I think that is a fantastic price for this specific whiskey. So color-wise, of course, there is a little bit of color added to it, but it's got a nice little golden color. Of course, I'm at a hotel, so the lighting might not be that fantastic. So hopefully you can see it. Nice light golden color. But of course, when the nose is just incredible for me. Now, I think my American friends will recognize it immediately. That corn note is so distinct that it reminds me so much of a nice bourbon. There's a sweetness of it, a fantastically lovely sweetness with loads and loads of vanilla. It reminds me of vanilla ice cream. It reminds me a little bit of a creme brulee, custard. That is really nice, very sweet on the nose. A little bit of a dark chocolate note coming out. A little bit of an espresso note, a light espresso note, not strong. Maybe somebody brewing it a little bit in the distance, but just every now and again you get a light espresso, little toffee, a hint of a banana, almost a little bit like a banana bread with a little bit of a buttery hint. Big corn notes, absolutely. Sweetness is there. That butterscotch note coming out. A little bit of a toasted nuts. That's really nice and sweet on the nose. Smooth. There's a little bit of a woody note also coming in. A little bit of a wood varnish note. If you do give it a little bit of an agitation, remember it's only 43% ABV. But with a little bit of an agitation, you do get a little bit of a youthful note coming out. So it's 3 years. So in the end, about 5 years old. So, but definitely it's noticeably 5 years old. There's definitely that a little bit of that ethanol, nail polish remover, maybe a hint of a paint thinner coming out when you're doing a little bit of an agitation. But once it's settled down, it's just this lovely perfumey sweetness coming out. Even a hint of a orange peel, maybe a little bit of a marmalade. But it is really nice. I can keep on smelling it, and I've been doing this for the last 2 days now, trying to get that nosing notes perfect. But every time when I go back, I do find something just a little bit different with time. Absolutely nice for me. So what on the taste? Cheers. Lovely sweetness. It is quite sweet. There's a hint of a spice forming, and it feels like it's a little bit more alcohol than the 43%. It does feel like it can go into the 45-46% ABV. So there's a nice warmth. There's a nice little spiciness coming in, a little bit of a woodiness coming in, very little oak on the taste. Let me just try again. So definitely that bourbony note is there, that corn shining, definitely bright, sweet corn, loads and loads of vanilla on it. That butterscotchy note, that little bit of a toffee note, a little bit of a caramel note coming out. And of course, 5 years, I didn't expect it to have a lot of oak, but definitely I was right. It is just a hint of oakiness in it, just to tone that excessively sweet whiskey just a little bit down. Really nice. So just give it one more try quickly. Definitely not going to need water. This is a nice sipper. So tonight I'm just going to sit back, relax. 11 degrees outside already, so quite cold. And of course I'm going to warm myself up with a nice Bains single grain whiskey. And when you're in Namibia or in South Africa and you've got your Bains in the hand, and of course you need something to snack on, I've got the perfect snack. And of course, you cannot come to South Africa or Namibia without going to the local shop and of course buying some fantastic biltong. This is a sweet chili biltong that I picked up here across the street, and of course it goes perfect with the whiskey. Ice cold weather, whiskey in the hand, my beef jerky, like my Americans would say, biltong, absolutely fantastic combination. I also will try to find some other budget whiskies here. I'm still on my holiday for the next 2 weeks, so it's going to be fun looking for some more budget whiskies. This is the series on budget whiskies or recession whiskies. I did see some nice relatively cheap ones, so I might buy some additional ones and make some more videos. So thank you very much for watching. You've come this far, remember to like and subscribe, and of course once we hit 1,000 subscribers we can get a little bit of AdSense that will go towards children in South Africa. So thank you very much, and I see you next time. Cheers.